Golden State Media Concepts presents the GSMC Classics series, with episodes of some of your favorites from a day gone by. A time gone by. Join us as we time travel to some of your classic favorites from yesteryear. The GSMC Podcast Network invites you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the GSMC Classics series on the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network.
I Love a Mystery. A Carlton E. Morse audio novel featuring Jack, Doc, and Reggie, specialists in crime and adventure. Now following the northwest trail of a missing millionaire, a killer cougar, and the Phantom Castle. This is Fred Foy introducing Jim Harmon's presentation of Les Tremaine and Tony Clay in an original Carlton Morse thriller, The Fear That Creeps Like a Cat. 8 o'clock in the morning in the little sawmill town of Port Forest, somewhere up the coast from Seattle, near the Canadian border. Their manhunt has taken them to the edge of the great Northwest wilderness, the last outpost of which is the little logging town of Port Forest. They have had to fight the Cooper Gang, an organization determined to keep them from finding Archer every step of the way. The gang's newest atrocity was the murder of Jake Sims, a native of Port Forest, whom the three comrades believed was Archer's contact with the outside world. At the moment, the trio are in the dead man's cabin.
Well, there ain't anybody ever going to be deader than Jake Sims is right now.
No, it's interesting, too. He hasn't been dead over 15 or 20 minutes.
I say. Yeah, looky, that window's open over yonder. The killer might have climbed out of the window and beat it for the woods and back as we was a-coming up the path from town.
He was the man who bought supplies and delivered them to wherever Alexander Archer is hiding. As long as he was alive, Archer was in danger of being exposed.
Yeah, and Jake here was double dangerous after what Bull McGinnis told us down at the store. I say, you mean someone of Cooper's gang overheard? Yeah, ain't that the way you figure it, Jack?
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
But look here, that means that we're being watched.
Not a doubt in the world of it.
Queer we haven't been aware of it. Yeah, what about that, Jack? Usually one of us spots a tail 2 minutes after he's on us.
Oh, we're out of our environment. Our senses are tuned to city life. They don't know how to react up here in the wide open spaces.
You think that's it, sure enough?
Well, we certainly missed fire this time. Something's the matter.
Doggone. And just because we wasn't on our toes, Jake Sims is a dead Indian.
There's no use staying here any longer.
Yeah. Reckon we ought to go down and report this dead body? Wonder if they got a police department up here.
We've got something more important to do than report dead men.
Huh? Such as what?
Didn't Bull McGinnis say Cooper and his gang were staying at the King Charles Hotel?
Yeah, passing themselves off as a troupe of actors.
Well, then the King Charles Hotel is our next stop.
But aren't we going to report the body?
What's the hurry?
But looky, fella, if somebody else discovers Jake here and reports it, and then Bull McGinnis remembers we was on our way up here the last he saw of us, ain't that gonna put us in one sweet spot? Quite, I don't like it.
Oh, you needn't worry about the body, gentlemen.
I say. Hey, Jack, it's Cooper.
Don't move, gentlemen, or one of you may find yourselves in the same unfortunate state as Jake Sims.
Pointing a gun at us through the window. Is that any way for a nice old man to act? Now, I ask you, fella.
I hope you'll all use good judgment, because my age hasn't anything to do with my shooting ability.
All right, Cooper. What do you want?
Just stand quietly as you are, while Frankie takes care of you.
What you mean, takes care of us?
Frankie, show them what I mean.
Yeah, you want me to go in through the window?
Now, you might get into my range of fire. Go around by the door.
Yeah, sure.
Now, ain't this a nice mess of potatoes?
This is all pretty silly, Cooper.
Oh, you think so?
Certainly. We're within 100 yards of the main street of Port Forest. It's broad daylight. What do you think you're going to gain by this sort of gunplay?
All right, Frankie. Go to work.
Yeah, you bet.
If any fuss starts, drop to the floor, so I won't hit you when I open fire.
Sure. All right, you. Put your hands behind you.
What about it, Jack?
You better do as he says.
Good common sense, Packard.
I say, Jack, he put handcuffs on me. Hey, Jack, are we just going to stand here and take this?
Can you think of anything better to do at the moment?
Yeah, this mug's not carrying a rod.
All right. Take the next one.
Come on, you. Put your hands behind you.
Hey, Jack.
Do as he says, Doc.
Well, darn it anyway.
Come on. You're wasting time.
Ooh, all right. But I warn you, fella, don't you ever let me catch you down a dark alley at night. Handcuffs. Now, we can't fight, Jack.
Just as well at the moment.
No rod on this bozo either.
Well, you see, Frankie, you boys insisted that these three were hard to handle. They're not only agreeable to get along with, but quite friendly about it.
I ain't either friendly, dadbunnit. I'm meaner than a he-mule in fly time.
All right, Packard. Your turn. Hands behind you.
Oh, why not?
Letting a pack of murderers truss us up like a passel of chickens without making a fight? What's eating you, Jack, anyway?
I just don't happen to like Cooper's gun.
Packard, I must congratulate you on your high type of intelligence.
No gun on him either.
All right. Take that rope and tie their feet so that they can walk decently but can't run.
Hey, the least you could do if we're going to be your prisoners is to carry us.
No, I'm afraid you'll have to do your own walking. After all, I'm quite an old man.
Darn if you ain't. Just a dirty old man.
I beg your pardon. I am immaculate.
Okay, have it your way. An immaculate dirty old man.
Does this red-headed young man talk all the time?
Yes, I'm afraid so.
And doesn't he ever say anything?
Hey, what you mean, don't I ever say anything?
No, I'm afraid Doc just likes to talk to hear his brains rattle.
Well, that's a nice thing to say about a fella to his face.
That's unfortunate. I detest useless conversation. Unless he can restrain himself, it may be necessary to use a gag.
All right. If nobody likes the sound of my voice...
Not too tight with those ropes, Frank. Give them a chance for a long, easy stride.
Yeah, but then they can run.
Did you ever see anyone try to run with ropes tied to their feet? Personally, Packard, you're more my type.
Thanks for nothing.
Oh, here, come now. I've been looking forward to some delightful conversation with you.
On what subject?
Well, personally, I like books, and I'm very fond of psychology.
I say, an intellectual murderer.
Oh, very unfortunate appellation, young man. Very unfortunate.
Truest thing that's been said up to now. Doggone murderer.
Frank?
Yeah?
When you've finished with those ropes, put a gag in that man's mouth.
Hey, look now.
That's your reward for talking out of turn.
Well, blame it all, he is a murderer, and there's the body laying right there to prove it.
As I was saying, I'm very fond of psychology, but my real hobby is medicine.
Oh, it's interesting.
Yes. My reports on you, Packard, tell me that you studied medicine at one time.
I never finished.
Oh, yes, 3 years, yes. I'm going to be very interested in hearing why you gave it up.
Well, if you got such a thorough report on my past, you should know why.
No, I'm afraid it doesn't tell me that.
All right. Their feet's done. This the guy you want gagged?
Oh, yes, that's the one.
Hey, now, wait a minute.
Hold still.
What, Dad, blame your ornery loadout.
Come on. You might as well give up, Doc. You're not the least bit intelligible.
There. Hell, that'll take care of him.
All right. Heard them out the door, and around here to me. Better keep your gun on them.
Sure. Come on. You heard what he said. Round to the side of the cabin with you.
I say, Jack, bit on the idea of a chain gang.
Keep going and no talking.
All right. I'll hold them here, Frankie. Go get the body.
Yeah, I'll tie it up in a gunny sack.
We're taking the body with us?
Oh, yes, of course. If we left it behind, someone might think you boys had killed him.
I should think that would be what you'd want.
Oh, no. Then the police would be hunting you. Let's keep the police out of this as much as possible.
Suits us.
I say, you're taking this all very calmly.
Oh, not the least danger. I've studied the habits of the natives pretty thoroughly. The only ones about at this time of the day are the mill workers, and they're all at work. Oh, don't dally in there, Frankie.
Coming right along. You can get them started towards the woods if you want to.
All right, boys. We'll be moving along then.
You're leading the way?
Now, I think it's safer if I follow. You see that scarred pine to the north?
Yes.
Head for that.
All right.
Mark you, I don't want to shoot if I don't have to, so don't give me any trouble.
I say, looks a bit of rough going.
Oh, yes, you'll have to break through the undergrowth. It gets better shortly.
Yeah, well, it's bad with our hands handcuffed behind us.
You can make it.
Righto.
If the ropes on your feet get tangled in the brush, just stand still until Frankie or I can free you.
I say, Jack, bit of a go, what? Kidnapped in broad daylight?
Don't be misguided by what Cooper says. Be careful. He's dangerous.
Quite. What do you suppose he has in store for us?
I don't know, but I'll bet it isn't sitting in front of a fire discussing books and philosophy.
Too bad you're gagged, Doc. Oh, I say.
What's the matter?
Doc's hobble rope caught on a root, and he pitched head first into a bush.
Well, now, we'll take care of that. Up on your feet. Now you're all right.
No, Doc will never be all right as long as he's got a gag in his mouth. And that fall didn't help his temper any.
Yes, it does look a bit indignant.
Indignant? The things that Texan's got stored up in his mind would inspire a mule driver.
You're wasting time. Move along.
We're at the edge of the timber. Which way do I go now?
Frankie, take the lead.
Yeah, you mugs follow me along here.
The going's easier from now on. It isn't far.
Isn't far to where?
My boy, the impatient man wastes the golden present in his eagerness for the counterfeit future.
I say.
You're alive and well at the moment. Let that suffice.
That's pretty uncomfortable philosophy for three men with their hands and feet tied and headed for uncertainty.
I'd like to discuss that with you at a later time. The philosophy of living each moment to the fullest without consideration of the next. But just now, I think we're coming to the horses.
Horses?
Oh, yes. Frankie, tie that corpse on the bay mare.
Yeah, that's just what I was going to do.
Yes, she's become resigned to carrying gruesome cargoes.
You expect us to mount these horses?
I'm afraid you'll have to.
No, that must mean we've got quite a trip ahead of us.
Not far. That is, not too far for comfort.
Yeah, there, that'll take care of the body.
All right, Frankie. Lead the roan up beside this stump for our red-headed friend.
I say, I was wondering how we were going to mount with our hands behind us.
Come on, boy.
Come on.
Whoa.
Up on the stump with you young man who talks too much.
I say, that's rubbing it in.
Frankie, untie the rope on his feet and then retie it under the horse's belly when he's on.
Yeah. All right, Texas, hop on.
Cooper, you don't really expect to get away with this, do you?
Oh, that isn't a very intelligent question, Packard. I'm surprised at you.
Look, we were sent up here on a mission. The minute we disappear, the people who are backing us will have the state police and federal department down on you like a ton of bricks.
Well, you talk in a way that makes me realize you don't know all the facts in this case. Your turn up on the stump, Packard. There you go.
There. I'm certainly not dressed for horseback riding.
Oh, you'll do.
What do you mean, I don't know all the facts in the case?
Untie his feet, Frankie.
Yeah.
You came up here into these woods to find Alexander Archer.
That's right.
Hired by an insurance company.
Yes?
Yeah, get on the horse.
It's awkward. I made it. Go on, Cooper. We were hired by an insurance company.
Did the insurance company tell you they'd sent other men out to find Alexander Archer?
Oh, look here.
Did the insurance company tell you that some of those other investigators disappeared?
What are you implying?
Did they tell you that there's been a great deal of secret to do in official circles about these men who have never returned, and that nothing has come of it?
All right, York. Your turn. Up on the stump with you.
Quite. I say, Cooper, are you telling us that we're about to disappear, never to be heard of again?
Oh, there's that possibility, of course.
You must be crazy. We've left a trail behind us broad enough for a village constable to follow.
Yes, officials have followed all those who have come before you as far as Port Forest. But then somehow the trail comes to an end.
Oh, I say.
Yes. At this point, the men sent out by the insurance company seem to vanish in thin air.
Oh, beautiful thought.
Are we ready, Frankie?
Yeah, all set.
Up on your horse, then. We'll take the underground passage.
The adventures of Jack, Doc, and Reggie have come to you in I Love a Mystery. Created and written by Carlton E. Morse. Script copyrighted by Morse Co. Incorporated. Produced and directed by story editor Jim Harmon. Featuring Les Tremaine as Jack Packard and Tony Clay as Doc Long. Consultants Frank Brzee and David Lloyd. Your announcer, Fred Foy. This presentation has come from Hollywood. I Love a Mystery. A Carlton E. Morse audio novel featuring Jack, Doc, and Reggie, specialists in crime and adventure. Now following the northwest trail of a missing millionaire, a killer cougar, and the Phantom Castle. This is Fred Foy introducing Jim Harmon's presentation of Les Tremaine and Tony Clay in an original Carlton Morse thriller, The Fear That Creeps Like a Cat. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, somewhere high on a ragged mountain ledge, somewhere near the Canadian border. Jack, Doc, and Reggie are in the Pacific Northwest in search of Alexander Archer, declared to be dead by his estate, but believed to be alive by the insurance company who holds $1 million policy on his life. Every inch of the three comrades' manhunt has been opposed by a well-organized outfit come to be known as the Cooper Gang. This morning, in the isolated little mill town of Port Forest, they thought they had found a clue to Archer in the person of Jake Sims. But when they got to Sims' cabin, he was dead. Murdered. Right on top of this, Cooper and one of his gang appeared and at gunpoint tied them up and loaded them on horses. That was at 7 o'clock this morning. Now, at 4 in the afternoon, they're riding on a high rocky ledge so narrow the horses must go single file.
I say, Jack.
Yes.
I feel very sorry for Doc.
Well, I've asked Cooper twice to take the gag off. He refuses.
Bloody swine.
You'd better sit still in your saddle. This ledge is too narrow for comfort.
Quite. Doc's horse up ahead stumbled a minute ago.
Oh? Well, if one of us goes over, we all go. We're all tied together.
Quite. Joe, this is beautiful country, though.
Yeah, I'll take my sightseeing in a different form. My arms have been bound behind me so long, all the feeling's gone.
I know. Wonder how much farther they're taking us.
You got me.
I say, the ledge narrows up ahead.
Narrower than this?
Oh, quite.
Well, hold your breath. It's 1,000 feet straight down if it's an inch.
Here we go. Hang on.
Get up. Get up. Get up there.
Jack, are you all right?
Well, yeah, I made it. Is my hair white?
Scared the wits out of me. When I heard your horse scrambling, I thought you'd gone over.
No, so did I. Maybe somebody likes this mountain goat stuff. I don't.
Call back of you and ask Cooper how much more there is of this.
Probably won't do any good. Hey, Cooper!
Yes?
I suppose you know kidnapping's a hanging offense.
My, aren't you informative?
How much farther are we going?
The worst is over. We drop down into a little valley just ahead. Then you'll get the surprise of your life.
Well, that doesn't sound very encouraging.
Oh, you needn't worry about it. Nothing's going to happen to you. Yet.
Not yet, huh?
No. I have taken quite a liking to you.
One of those beautiful friendships, huh?
Jack, the ledge is widening. We're going down into a tiny canyon.
Well, that's something. I'm getting tired of this eagle's nest department. Cooper says we've got a surprise in store for us.
Something gory?
No. He says not to worry. Here. This path's taking on the elements of a shoot-to-shoot.
Bit on the steep side, all right. Steady, boy.
Don't put the brakes on my horse or good, or I'll run you down.
Well, these horses are used to this trial. Just let them alone. They'll take care of you.
That's all right. But with our hands tied behind us, I'm having something of a problem keeping my seat.
Well, endeavor not to fall off. If you know what's good for you.
Oh, thanks for the warning.
There, now we're down. Yes, it's an easy path to the other side of the canyon.
Well, look, how about calling up ahead to your old pal Frank and having him pull up for a bit?
What for?
Well, among other things, how about taking Doc's gag off? He's had it on all day, and that's pretty brutal.
I'm sorry. He brought it on himself.
Then you might be a little humane.
It's all part of the game, you know.
But it's so unnecessarily cruel. He can't do any harm with his voice here.
He talks too much.
I shouldn't expect anything more from you, I suppose.
I suppose not.
Jack, we're coming to a river.
Yes, I hear it. Cooper.
Yes?
I suppose you know your gang murdered that body Frank's got on the pack horse up ahead.
What are you so high and mighty about? What about the 3 men you killed in that launch out in Puget Sound?
Oh, come on, you're crazy. The launch was run down by a freighter. We had all we could do saving ourselves.
In the vernacular, tell it to the Marines.
I say, Jack, Frank's pulling up.
Well, apparently we are going to get a rest after all. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Hey, you ready, Frank?
And this is where you said to get rid of the body, Mr. Cooper?
Oh, yes. In the river.
Yeah.
Well, hurry up. We need to be at the cabin by 4:30. It's almost that now.
Yeah. It won't take me but a minute to get these ropes off.
Say, where does that river go?
It goes underground about a mile down the canyon.
Doesn't it come out again?
If it does, nobody knows where. I don't care to watch. Linda Joyce will guide you now.
Yeah, there. I'll be with you in just a minute. And that's that.
And that's the end of Jake Sims.
Yeah, just like he ain't never been. Now, look at you guys. We go into a cave up ahead.
Cave?
Yeah, that's what I said. I'll have a light up ahead, but it won't do you guys much good. Bend down over your horse's necks, or you're liable to get your head bumped.
A cave? So that's what Cooper meant about the underground passage.
Yeah, never mind about that. Now, just listen to what I'm saying. Do what I tell you to. because when we first go in, we follow along the river, and she makes so much noise you won't be able to hear yourselves think.
Just bend over in the saddle, and the horses will do the rest.
Yeah, that's right. Here comes Miss Joyce. Miss Joyce, I'll keep watching back as we go into the cave. If anything goes wrong, you signal me with your light. So let's go.
Here we go into the cave. No use trying to talk anymore.
Are we through with the river, Linda?
Yes. It goes off into the right.
What happens when we get through the cave?
There's a cabin on the other side where we'll spend the night.
You mean we've got more horseback riding to do tomorrow?
Of course.
Oh, that's great. I'm stuck to the saddle right now.
Yes. Fighting's bad if you're not used to it.
Great little comforter.
You boys might be interested to know that when you come out of the mouth of the cave up there, we'll be out of the United States and into Canada.
So that's what this is.
What do you mean?
This trail we've been following, a smuggler's underground system.
Wrong.
Valley surrounded by crags, 2,000 or 3,000 feet straight up.
I thought you boys would like it. Canadian Rockies. They have a reputation, you know. See that smoke down there? That's our cabin.
Well, that looks better to me than all the Rocky Mountains in Canada.
Our fresh horses for tomorrow.
Hey, Miss Joyce.
Yes, Frank.
Now, where does Mr. Cooper want us to dump this cargo?
Take them right up in front of the main cabin. Well, here we are.
Shall I dump them off?
Yes, untie their feet. You'll probably have to help them down.
Let them help themselves. All right, you. Down with you.
Oh, look here. You can't do that.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, there's no use in that sort of thing. Doc's bound and gagged. There's such a thing as decency.
Yanking him off and letting him fall?
Yeah, and you're next.
Here, what are you doing?
Come on.
Great guy, aren't you?
Jack, I say I can't begin to stand. No feeling at all in my legs.
Hey, you're next.
Bally brute.
I'll remember that, Frankie, my boy.
I'll take the horses down to the stable, Miss Joyce. Can you see about these mugs?
All right. They don't any of them seem to be able to stand.
Okay. Somebody will be out to give you a hand, I reckon. Come on, you. Come on. Hit for the barn.
None of you is hurt, is he?
Well, we're certainly not in a pink of condition.
You'll get over it. Lie on your backs and kick your feet like you were riding a bicycle. That'll bring back the circulation.
Oh, that's going to be a wonderful feeling.
See here, will you please take that gag out of Doc's mouth?
No.
And you call yourself a woman.
Oh, stop crying. I thought you three were supposed to be tough guys.
Is that brute tied up?
Yes. That's why he's howling. He's only allowed loose when Mr. Cooper's around.
You still haven't told us what became of Cooper.
Oh, he'll be along.
But look here, are we just going to lie here? What happens now?
I'll take you inside as soon as you're able to stand.
Oh, I say.
Circulation's coming back, Reggie.
Quite. Better off the way I was.
I'm beginning to have the same opinion.
Well, you better come along before you get too frisky.
But I don't think I can stand.
Oh, yes, you can. Come on. Get up.
Jove, I say.
Oh, feels like I was walking on stilts with slivers in it.
Righto. Good boy, Doc.
Come on. This way.
Hello. What's in that enclosure over there?
Mountain lions.
Mountain lions?
Yes, some more of Mr. Cooper's pets.
Pets, huh?
Sort of.
But what does a blighter like Cooper want with mountain lions?
That you'll probably find out for yourselves before Richard Cooper is through with you.
The adventures of Jack, Doc, and Reggie have come to you in I Love a Mystery. Created and written by Carlton E. Morse. Script copyrighted by Morse Co. Incorporated. Produced and directed by story editor Jim Harmon. featuring Les Tremaine as Jack Packard and Tony Clay as Doc Long. Consultants, Frank Brzee and David Lloyd. Your announcer, Fred Foy. This presentation has come from Hollywood.
You've been listening to the GSMC Classics series, part of the Golden State Media Concepts podcast network. Follow us at www.gsmcpodcast.com and find all of our timeless programming by typing GSMC Classics into any podcast app, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and more. Remember to subscribe to the GSMC Classics series podcasts of your choice to stay up to date on new episodes. And if you could take a minute to give us a nice review, that really helps us to get this ageless programming out to others who would enjoy it just as much as you have. Check out all of our GSMC Classics series podcasts. Whether you're in the mood for comedy, romance, adventure, history, science fiction, horror, or anything in between, the GSMC Classics series has you covered. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program on the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network.